Prince Harry needs to get out of Dodge regarding his marriage to Meghan Markle. A divorce would be the best route for him. The former actress has been in the media a ton lately, and she's reduced her husband to a reference of my husband or my now husband. It's like she's forgotten his name. During the Variety interview, Harry is mentioned, but never by name. Instead, he's referenced as my husband almost half a dozen times. There's been a few rumours floating around social media regarding the Sussexes getting a divorce. Also, there have been numerous tabloid pieces over the last 5 years. The first piece is from the Teresa Longo fan page, which is run by a couple of journalists. They've said they're still trying to verify sources and it's sensitive. While it says there's no talk of a divorce, Harry and Meghan are known to have some explosive fights, and there's resentment on all sides. Apparently, Harry also cries and is compliant when it comes to Meghan. She controls every aspect of their lives. Another source says that Meghan is on the lookout for another rich man. We've heard this a few times before. And a thread on Reddit penned a realistic view of Harry and Meghan's divorce. The post read, "Since almost all of us are on the royal divorce watch, I wanted to chime in with some thoughts on what this could look like and how things might play out, especially because any change in Harry's status as a Councillor of State, which is currently being debated by Britain's Parliament, would have dramatic implications on the situation and proceedings, which might serve to speed things up a bit. First, I want to start by saying the Harry and Meghan divorce proceedings will not take place in any California court. I know that it's frequently discussed, and almost ways the discussion of California law comes up. Honestly, it's a good thing because it gives Meghan less legal options. By Harry's position as a Councillor of State, he's granted diplomatic immunity. What happens if Meghan decided to sue him for a divorce? Well, the US State Department will step in and quash the proceedings. One of the core pillars of diplomatic immunity is that it protects the person who possesses it from court proceedings, specifically civil court proceedings outside of their country of residence. These are agreements dating back to the ancient times that have been updated through the Geneva Convention and are constantly moderated and debated by the UN. But the fact remains that in the majority of any court-related action involving someone who is in a country with diplomatic immunity, it becomes a matter that is mediated between the State Department and the country where the person in question is a citizen, and generally, that is only in serious criminal matters. So if Meghan did decide to sue Harry for divorce, hopefully her American attorneys would be smart enough to advise her that it would be a waste of money, with the State Department almost guaranteed to quash the case. If Meghan were to sue Harry for divorce, she would have to do it in London. I'm fascinated to see how this plays out and how the royal family approaches it. I'm sure both sides will be gearing up with leverage, blackmail, to use against the other to get their way. Charles and William almost certainly will be involved in the divorce negotiations, as Philip was involved in those of the Diana divorce because too much is at stake for the institution. Meghan has an epic history of overplaying a hand. While I think the odds of this are low, it makes me wonder if the king opts to tell her to give it her best go in court. Should she become too much trouble during the private divorce negotiations? After all, there's a wealth of negative information out there about both Harry and Meghan. It's not like the Crown needs to bend over backwards to protect Harry's image. He's already flushed it down the toilet himself.